when we had I'll call it shortage of vaccine early on when the vaccine became available, I think we did what made a whole lot of sense, which is we said, who's at highest risk? We vaccinated healthcare workers because they were going to become exposed to it. We vaccinated people in nursing homes because the conditions were very right for rapid transmission. We vaccinated people who were older because we knew their mortality was higher. And we vaccinated people with chronic diseases. All of that made perfect sense. But we ignored one statistic. African American had a 3 times higher mortality. Now, if it was 3 times lower, I would have said go to the back of the line. But if it's 3 times higher, why did we not include that statistic in your mind from our equation? I mean, to me, it's just facts. It's not bias, it's facts, unless you don't follow the facts. And now it becomes bias. So again, I want to throw it to you and say, why did we fail as a nation to include a 3-to-1 ratio? This is not 5% or 10%. This is 300% higher. What's your thoughts about it?
Well, and Dr. Pearl, thank you for that question, because I was on a panel and somebody asked me, did I feel that the medical system in America and was America itself as a system racist? And I was the only person on the panel that said yes.
What?
And my other colleagues who were not African American took it personal. And this is the issue. They said, well, I'm not a racist and the way I give care is not racist. And I said, that wasn't the question. The question was, is the system, does it have racism in it? Is it biased? Yes. When I went to the doctor, and this is Kaiser, God bless you, Kaiser, and I'm still a Kaiser patient. When my doctor showed me my chart and it had changed my nationality from African American or Black, whatever the heck they called me at that particular time, to white. And it was because they had moved from a paper system to the online system. And my health status looked more like a Caucasian person than it did a Black person. And I got inadvertently, my ethnicity got changed. My doctor was very embarrassed by that. But we had a conversation. I said, do you want to know why? And she said, why? I said, do you see diabetes there? Do you see high blood pressure there? Do you see some of the tip? Okay. And she said, no. I said, but how dare somebody make that decision for me? Because that's what happened.
So again, let me engage in a little debate with you over this whole
I love this.
And I can't wait till people read the chapter in part 4 on racism, because it's in the book, Uncaring.
Okay.
And by the way, all the profits go to a charity. I don't make money on it. Doctors Without Borders, a great charity. And I point out in there that they've done what's called implicit bias research. And the truth is that 2/3 of white physicians have an implicit bias. They're not aware of it. That's why we call it implicit bias.
Okay.
Now, probably if we tested in the reverse, we'd find the same thing that's there, because it's not overt discrimination, the implicit bias. Overt discrimination exists too, but implicit bias for the people on your panel, it happens because, if you think back 20,000 years, you're part of a tribe and a person comes over the horizon, you've got to make a split-second call. Do I shoot an arrow at that person, or do I open my arms and welcome them? Are they part of my tribe? In which case they're bringing back game, or they're someplace else. Our brains are immediately able to do, it's called thin slicing, and make a determination without us even being aware that it's there. And it's interesting. I was on a podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I got asked this question. And I answered that implicit bias is not racism. Knowing it exists and not doing anything about it, that is racism. And that's where we are as a nation. But when you know that it exists and you know that it's wrong, now you have an ethical and moral responsibility to do something, because I think that the medical profession has denied it, and the time has come to recognize it and address it.